The spoken languages among the Jews of that period, at the time of Jesus, were Hebrew, Aramaic, and to an extent Greek. Until recently, it was believed by numerous scholars that the language spoken by Jesus' disciples was Aramaic. It is possible that Jesus did, from time to time, make use of the Aramaic language. But during that period Hebrew was both the daily language and the language of study. The Gospel of Mark contains a few Aramaic words, and this was what misled scholars. Today, after the discovery of the Hebrew Ben Sira, Ecclesiasticus, of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and of the Bar Kokhba letters, and in light of more profound studies of the language of the Jewish sages, it is accepted that most people were fluent in Hebrew. The Pentateuch was translated into Aramaic for the benefit of the lower strata of the population. The parables in the rabbinic literature, on the other hand, were delivered in Hebrew in all periods. There is thus no ground for assuming that Jesus did not speak Hebrew. And when we are told that Paul spoke Hebrew, we should take this piece of information at face value.
And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs, and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue, saying,
This question of the spoken language is especially important for understanding the doctrines of Jesus. There are sayings of Jesus, which can be rendered both in Hebrew and Aramaic, but there are some which can only be rendered into Hebrew, and none of them can be rendered only in Aramaic. One can thus demonstrate the Hebrew origins of the Gospels by retranslating them into Hebrew. It appears that the earliest documents concerning Jesus were written works, taken down by his disciples after his death. Their language was early rabbinic Hebrew, with strong undercurrents of biblical Hebrew. Even in those books of the New Testament, which were originally composed in Greek, such as the Pauline epistles, there are clear traces of the Hebrew language, and the terminology in those books of the New Testament, which were composed in Greek, is often intelligible only when we know the original Hebrew terms. In these books, we can trace the influence of the Greek translation of the Bible side by side with the influence of the Hebrew original.